that it was written by the Dark One, Necronomicon Ex Mortis. Roughly translated, Book of the Dead. The book served as a passageway to the evil worlds beyond. It was written long ago. The seas ran red with blood. It was this blood that was used to ink the book. In the year 1300 AD, the book disappeared.
Heyo.
Heyo. Yo, what up, everybody?
How's it going, everybody?
I was waiting for the drop to hit the Chase and Shep thing.
I
think
the volume controls.
I think we're both doing it again. As you guys can see, we have not.
Just two people each with a hand on the wheel. That's all. That's
I'm just
all.
gonna let it. I took the loop off. We'll let it ride until it's not riding no more.
That's right. I panicked. I didn't know what song to play. I was like, I tried not to do one we've done before, but I'm pretty sure we've done this one before.
Oh, well.
But it's been done now.
You got
We're
the Book
jamming.
of the Dead. It's Monday. It's Monstrous. It's been a monstrous day.
It has indeed. It's been a monstrous month.
Really has, man.
For you know, the old spooky season.
Spooks and scares and all around.
Last week when we had Priyanka on the show and we were sharing some scary stories with one another, she told the story about the black-eyed children.
Yeah.
And I said on air that it kind of freaked me out. And after the fact, it really freaked me out because I was all alone in that big old house. And it was just dark. And every time my mind started to drift back to that story, I would just start wigging myself out. And I'm just like, there's just going to be a knock at the door, dude. Like this. But Priyanka did follow that up by calling me to make sure I was okay. So.
Well, that's nice of her.
Yeah.
It's nice of her. Yeah, that's been a myth. Like I said, that it's always been kind of scary. It's been fun.
Freaked me the hell out.
I feel like I had a really good idea for like some sort of a scary movie today that isn't one that's been like seen or something, and I cannot remember what it is for the life of me right now, but I will, and we might just have to make it. It's not something I want to say right now. It's something I want to tell you because it's something that we could use. We could use that. I think that would be like, oh, okay, cool.
An urban legend, you're saying?
Kind of not. I guess we can vibe right now. We don't have much to talk about tonight.
No, we don't. We're just here.
To me, it would be like I thought, like if it was like an ARG, I think they call them, or a real life role playing game or something like that. If it was like some sort of like serial killer thing, and me and you get invited as Chase and Shep, they're the horror guys and stuff, and we quickly realize it's actually like somebody's really killing everybody. It's not fake, but everybody else around us is like, oh, it's just part of the thing. Don't worry, and we're like, no, it's not. Like, it's really not. Maybe it's one of those is it not, is it not till the end type of thing. And then you find out if it is or it's not.
Fun. Yeah, you got a 50-50 chance of being right if you guess the ending. So
I was thinking on that today. I was like, that'd be kind of fun thing to do.
Yeah, that would be fun.
There's
something fun about in the horror genre. Well, fun to an extent. After a while, it starts to get old. But the whole trope of being crazy or being told you're crazy when like both you and the audience know you're not crazy. Like these things are happening. I just finished watching all the Child's Play movies again. And even in the TV show, like, the through line throughout that whole series is like, oh, Chucky did it. And they're like, you're crazy. There's not actually killer dolls, But, that's always fun until it isn't. Because sometimes that shit gets old. And it's just like, come on now. Like Chucky is one of those where I have to stretch my believability for that, just because it's like the timeline's never changed. It's never been rebooted or anything like that. So it's like you're telling me that as many times as this kind of thing has happened, you're still calling motherfuckers crazy? Like, you know what I mean? Like after 30, 40 years of the same shit happening, and like it's in the news, and like people seem to be aware that like Chucky's a thing because they saw it on the news or read it in a newspaper or some shit. So it's like, so why do you insist?
Right. Right.
That like, no, you're crazy. That kind of thing doesn't happen. It's like, well, it does happen, and you know that it happens. So, cut a motherfucker a break every once in a
No,
while.
I vibe hard with that, man. I think it's true. I'm pretty sure it's, they wrecked Hollywood. Like, how do you like?
Right,
Did they not find Redman's dead body at any point? Did nobody
right.
question why Redman just was out of
Yeah,
everything, music,
right.
movies?
Redman, Britney Spears.
Yeah, and they just no. But I also thought with that idea would be a fun way of doing like a Scream, being able to poke fun of the more recent tropes, but create some new ones maybe, or because
I
they
can
kind
dig
of
it.
did that. They did that with slashers. It's like a way to reinvent a slasher where it's like, is it real? Is it not real? I don't know. Did Jason Shep really just kill somebody that's not really killing somebody's? Sounds like a lot is going on over
A
there.
lot is going on. I apologize. I feel like it's like one thing after another out there tonight.
This is wild. Hey, we're getting close to Devil's Night, and
All dies tonight.
all my homies that have watched The Crow know that Devil's Night is the night of fires.
I haven't seen The Crow.
You've never seen The Crow?
No, I've never seen The Crow.
Wow, dude, you
Yeah.
got to change that, bro. You got to
Yeah.
change that fast. That's a really good movie.
I know it's a classic.
It is a staple, in my opinion. Like, yeah, that was probably back in the 90s up in Detroit, and Devil's Night the night before Halloween. They decided, let's burn this motherfucker down. So that's why you have like D12's album, Devil's Night. This is a good album too, by the way. That's a good album.
Hell yeah.
D12 went really hard. D12 went really hard, man. I don't think they would go I don't think they could fly nowadays. Just because Bizarre was on one. And I don't think that guy still probably does not give any fucks or shits. So he probably wouldn't. They probably wouldn't do. Bizarre wouldn't be part of D12 if D12 was popping off now. Let's just throw that out there. You heard it here first. But I did have a question for you. I did have one thing I thought of that would be good to talk about tonight. Yeah, that would be a good topic to talk about. People can chime in if they'd like. What is your trick or treating? What was your top shelf? This is the candy you're not trading, no tradesies. That is your candy. What is something that you was okay with? Somebody could convince you with enough power to trade. And what was that candy you would just either rot in the bag or you would give out? Let's talk Halloween candy.
All right, let's do it.
I mean, it's easy for me. It's easy for me.
Let's hear yours.
I'm pretty sure I've already said on here, Reese's Cups. I mean, I literally told people today I pretty much based my life off of Reese's Cups. They're wonderful. They are wonderful. That was the candies that they would be gone before I got home from trick or treating.
Yeah.
I
don't know, man. Man, I don't know. The problem with Reese's is like Reese's obviously, slap. And we had to eat them as fast as we can. It didn't matter what holiday it was. It didn't matter if it was Halloween, Easter, Christmas. If the Reese's were on the table, you had to eat them fast because Dad would eat them otherwise. So it's like it'd be one of those things where it's like, oh, I'm only going to take one, and then your dad's eating like all of your Reese's. So those are a hot commodity for me, though. I don't know, man. I love Snickers. Sometimes those are kind of hard to give up. Kit Kats, however, even though their slogan's like "break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar," I don't often want to share the other piece.
Really? See, Kit Kats were one that I was willing to like. I would trade. I would
Yeah.
trade a Kit Kat. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what I would trade. Chocolate wise, I mean,
Crunch bars, get them.
I've
Take
seen
'em.
now Crunch bars. I fucking love Crunch bars. That's my shit. I love a good Crunch bar. But you know, all the greats like the Crunch bars, Butterfingers, all that shit. You know, that stuff's hard to give up. Is there any I would truly not give up? I don't know, but you know, there's. You know, what are the ones that have like fucking pretzels and shit in them and stuff like that? Like as a kid, I'd be like, take this. I don't want this. You
Well,
know,
that's
like what
see,
are
that
Take
was a
Five,
take 5.
you
I
know?
think we
Yeah.
didn't have those when I was a kid, so I
See,
didn't have to worry
that
about it.
shit started with me. I think with my generation, I
The
definitely
ones that
there
I
were
hated was
a lot
like
of Take Five.
the UNICEF pennies. Like people being like, "Here's a penny for UNICEF." I'd be like, "Get out of here."
Fuck
Uh,
this penny. I can't
apples,
eat it.
raisins, any type of little healthy
Oh yeah.
snack. I get the fuck. I'd have been. I get it now as an adult. I get
There's
it.
like
You know what I'm
a
saying?
candy like in my mind. Round two over here. There's like a candy specifically in my mind, and I can't think of what it is, but it was like almost a shitty licorice type of candy. The candy itself wasn't licorice, but it was like licorice flavored. I feel like. Um, I can't think of
Jelly.
what they are.
Well, jelly
No, they
beans
were
are
kind of
really a thing.
like almost like Mike and Ike's, but they weren't Mike and Ike's. They were
Okay,
just
I think I know what you're
Good
talking
and
about.
Plenty's. That's what it is. Good and
Good and-
Plenty's. Fuck Good and Plenty's. I'd get I'd get rid of those.
Okay, okay. Good
Pretty
and
much
plenty.
anything in that realm, you know, I'd be like, you just take it.
The ones I really didn't like was the little fruit Tootsie Roll things.
Yeah, actually,
No,
left
I mean
with that.
I really liked them, but I always got confused because they put blue raspberry and vanilla in the same fucking blue wrapper, and I did not like the vanilla ones whatsoever.
What? I love the vanilla ones.
No.
Oh yeah.
No. But I did like my old people candy. You know, I liked my little butterscotch things. I liked the little
Werther's.
strawberries. Werther's. I
Represent.
fucking loved Werther's.
Dude, yeah.
And orange slices. I'll eat orange slices. I didn't care about those things.
I liked those. I bought some orange slices not too long ago from the grocery store. Just cause.
Yeah. No, I mean, like for me, you know, there wasn't a lot, dude. Okay, like Mounds, that was a trade every time. Don't like Mounds,
Yeah.
didn't like Almond Joy, trading those. You know what I'm saying?
There was
I was not really trading them. I just give them to my mom. My mom loved them. Heath for the win.
Yeah, Belle's crazy about Heath bars too. She
Heath
loves
bars,
Heath.
come on, man.
But like,
I would trade them. I'd trade them.
man. Yeah,
I'd trade them. I get the hype behind the Heath now that I'm older.
Right. It's a sophisticated, mature
the
snack.
toffee's all right, but
Yeah, right.
I would still absolutely give those up anytime I could.
Almond Joy are legit.
I don't
Are
like
they?
almonds.
Are they?
I don't like almonds. I don't like nothing like that.
I do like almonds. That's one of those things I feel like I kind of just talk shit on.
I don't.
By default, like the little kid in me is like, I don't want an Almond Joy, but like me at my age, is somebody who's like, here's an Almond Joy, I'm gonna eat it. You know,
Almonds,
I fuck with
walnuts. No, none of them.
No?
Paydays, I would always get rid of.
See, payday, you know, that's a lot of peanuts.
Yeah,
That's a lot of peanuts.
100 grand, I'd always get rid of. Didn't care for.
We were just watching a movie the other day where there's a line in it where the girl gives like the other chick coconut oil or something. She's like, you use that for a blowjob. They say like it tastes like Mounds or something like that. And she's like, I'd rather eat 10 dicks than one Mound. And I was just like, nobody likes Mounds out here. Hating on it. John Wayne Gacy agrees with me on Almond Joys. Well,
I mean, that might say it. Yeah, that might say something about him. I was always pissed off at the 100 grand commercials when I was younger. You know, like what a piece of, like, you could trick somebody. So like, you go do this to me, I'll give you 100 grand, and they'd be like, oh shit. And you give them a fucking candy bar. Like, all right, Joker. All right, I get it.
You joker, you jokester.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like candy is just not the same as it used to be too. And I could be wrong about this, you know.
Six floats
like,
were good.
back in
Nerds.
the day, you had like shit like Wonder Balls and stuff,
Those
and
were
it's
good.
like
Mm-hmm.
candy was like an event, like it was gonna do something for you. I'm sure we've talked about this on the show before, but it's worth talking about again. There were these things that you put your like suckers in, and they had to have given people brain cancer, but like they you could like hear the radio inside of your head, basically, like you when
Oh, we've had all those. Yeah, we had
like
those.
you remember that shit? That shit was
Yeah,
bizarre as fuck.
they had toothbrushes that would do that too, I
Yeah,
believe.
it's
And you
just
could
like,
hear
how am
like,
I hearing this right now? Yeah,
who wants to wake up and listen to Kiss when they brush their teeth every fucking day? I want to rock. I'd hate it. I'd hate it. Um, but on yeah, the musician side of me says that with vibrations and stuff, you can do some wild stuff. I
yeah.
do remember about 10 or so years ago, I stayed at a Hard Rock hotel, hotel, and you could hear the radio underwater. Like they played a separate radio station underwater. So when you dive underwater, you could hear a completely different song than was playing
Hmm,
when you came above water. It was wild.
interesting.
Yeah, and it's just because of sound waves and stuff like that. Of course, in water, it's going to be muted, so you're not going to hear it above it. And it's like, yeah,
Mhm.
that checks out. Um, but yeah, I don't know, man. As far as like, there wasn't, like I said, it's same. There wasn't much candy that I was willing to part with, but the ones that I was willing to part with, I was willing to really hardly, like very fast,
Yeah,
like go ahead and take
definitely,
that. I'd
for
say
sure.
Three Musketeers was probably the most popular candy that I'd be like, yeah, you can have that.
I distinctly remember trick or treating as a kid, in this one neighborhood in Tennessee, and they were just very festive in that neighborhood. A lot of people really went all out decorating, but there was one house in particular that we stopped at twice. One, because of the decorations being cool and stuff. It was pretty
Right.
spooky. They had a little vampire coffin out front and shit like that. So we wanted to go check out the house again. And two, because they were giving out those jugs of like juice. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Oh
they look like
yeah.
barrels.
Yeah.
We had to switch masks and come back a second time. Like we were trying to get that juice.
See, when I was a kid, man, what I was more about was Squeeze-Its, dude. They had the little faces on the bottles. Always
Oh
some
yeah,
wild
yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Right.
Those I really enjoyed. But I mean, we got to give props where props are due. Major shout out to everybody that gave out the full size candy bars because
Oh,
you are a
absolutely.
fucking trooper.
Those are the
Um,
heroes.
Everybody talked about You Bet That. We all was like, I got full size fucking. Oh my god. Um, but yeah, dude, I don't know, man. Like, I did like the people that would like give a little haunted house type of thing out front.
Oh yeah,
And you
yeah.
kind of like walk through it a little bit, and it's not scary, but kind of
Again,
scary.
living in Tennessee, just a few years back, we were driving through town, and this person was decorating their house. Or no, actually, my friend was driving through town, and she comes back to the place, and she's like, "Yo, everybody, get in the car right now." We're like, "Where are we going?" She's like, "Just come on, I gotta show you this." So we all go get in the car, and she drives us to this dude's house. And he's decorating, and I mean, this guy had gone all out, like up in the windows in the attic, for like shit hanging from the trees to the top of the house, like just all sorts of shit. It was really cool. And it's always fun to find somebody who gets so festive, so into it. You know,
I don't know why my stream seems a lot darker tonight than normal.
it does. It does.
I,
I'm almost
I,
scared something's gonna like emerge from the
yeah,
darkness
reach.
back there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That'd be crazy. That'd be, hey, if that happens, it's recording. We'll use it on something. Um,
Assuming you're
no,
live
it's fine.
after
If I'm not, it's fine. It's fine. You can use it in something, bud. If you don't win something with that footage,
that.
only then will I roll
Come back
over
to
in my
haunt
grave.
people.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if that, yeah, no, I think it just, I know they said November 6th is fallback day.
Oh yeah.
So,
Are we still doing that? Is that still happening?
yeah, I don't think they ever passed any sorts of laws or nothing on that, or I don't know. As
I
far
didn't
as
know
I
if
know,
the
it's
time
still
police stepped in and said what we were and we're not doing. So
I just, because it sucks. Because then this will be, before our stream. This is how dark it's gonna be.
Right.
Maybe not. Maybe by the end. I don't know. I don't really know how the concept of time and space works some days, guys. I do have my Bears jersey on. I will have to say, I hope my guys do good tonight, Monday Night Football. I'm kind of very much relying on them. I am currently in first place in the Bears League that I'm in, fantasy football wise, with the homies. Tyler, I beat him last week. Sorry, buddy. I had to do it. I had to pull out all stops this year. I'm in first place. So if my guys do good tonight, I'm not saying they got to win. Just do good. I'll do good. So props.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Sidestep some props on them.
What so I guess to kind of your question about the candy, do you have any costume that was your favorite growing up?
I do actually. Okay, so I was a wide range of characters. When I was very little, I was a fucking bunny. I was like, thank you. But my most favorite costume, I think, now that I'm adult, getting to look back and when I was younger, Batman Forever was coming out.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be the Riddler, bad. So, they got me a Riddler costume and all this stuff. And I was just kind of down because I was like, Riddler has that cool ass question mark cane and shit.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather made that cane for me out of wood.
Yeah.
Spun it and all this stuff, spray painting it to look gold and all this shit. He made me a baller ass cane for that. And yeah, so that was probably, I would say, my most favorite costume I dressed up with, when I was a kid, was the Riddler.
Oh yeah, love it. Yeah,
What was yours?
I think the one that really stands out to me all the time is I was the Cat in the Hat one year when I was a kid, and I don't know, it just felt very appropriate, I felt, I was a very tall kid and shit. So here I am with this even taller hat and shit. It was a very and then later in life to go on to fucking just love the Cat in the Hat movie with Michael Myers. I'm like, it was destiny.
Yeah, no, I vibe with that, dude. It's hard for me to think back on Halloween costumes because I just wore costumes all the time as a kid. I didn't really care.
Actually, now that you say that, there was one costume that I wore for Halloween and then continued to wear until that fucker fell off of my body from use, and that was my Spider-Man costume when I got to be Spider-Man. But I'm about to turn 28 years old, and I would say right now that if I had a Spider-Man costume, I'd probably wear that motherfucker every day. Put it on under my clothes.
There's a lot, man.
Like Spider-Man.
When I look back at my childhood pictures, it's a toss-up. It's like I'm either gonna be dressed up as Batman, I'm gonna be dressed up as a Ninja Turtle, I'm gonna be dressed up as Robin. I even dressed up as. I had no hate. I was cool with being the sidekick.
I was Robin one year. Yeah,
and I mean, like for me, I can't remember what all I was as a guy, as a child. I know it was Batman one year because I always was obsessed with wanting to be a Batman that like had the mask that actually like went all the way over your head and shit like that. I know I like that kind of stuff. I know as an adult I got to live out my. Oh, so here's a great one. My mom, one year I told her I want to be a Power Ranger. She got me the blue Power Ranger costume. I think I might have talked about this.
That's better than what happened to me because I'm pretty sure I got the Pink Ranger.
Oh, really?
When I was real little. If I'm remembering correctly, somebody ended up buying it for me because they said that I liked it. That the Pink Ranger was my favorite, but that's what happened.
Action.
My parents never dropped it either. My parents would give me shit about that all the time. I'm like,
action figure wise, cool. Dress up wise, nah. But no, like Billy was known as the nerd of the group and stuff. So I was like, you know, I didn't want to be Billy. You know, I wanted to be like
Right.
the Red Ranger at least.
Yeah, well, of course.
But I love it. You know, whatever. I still think it's great. You know, now that I'm old, I'm like, fuck it, dude. The Blue Ranger was dope. But I did one year get to dress up as the Green Ranger in an adult life, and that was probably one of my it's up in the top 5. I felt really good that year.
I keep telling Belle, and I don't know if she thinks I'm fucking around or not, but I'm quite serious when I tell her that when we have kids, when it comes to Halloween, I have costumes in mind already. Like there's just things that I'm gonna want to do with my kid while I have a little kid to do it with. And what I'm very insistent on is I want to do I want to be Groot, and my baby can be Rocket. Put him on
Right.
a little pack, carry him around. Fucking adorable, you know. So many fun costumes to do.
You could,
When she
man.
told me she wouldn't do a couple costume with me this year, it broke my heart. I was like, damn.
You know what comes to mind for me? With if you had a little baby like that too, that would be fun. If you had him strapped to your chest, you made it look like you was riding a bicycle and he was in the basket as little ET.
I love it.
Yeah,
love it.
that would be a really cool one. I feel like too. I'd be like, hell yeah, ET, Elliot. Yeah. I fuck with ET. That it circles back, circle of life. ET likes Reese's Pieces, and so do I. So,
Pieces are dope.
and so is ET. The
I feel like I'm
extraterrestrial.
gonna have to go out for some Reese's something. Get some. Oh, well, I'll get some when we go to the movies tomorrow.
I mean, and they got so much new ones now. You know, when I was a kid, we didn't have fast breaks. We didn't have nothing. You know, like you literally got little miniature-sized Reese's cups.
Yeah.
We didn't have pumpkins. We didn't have. I don't. You know,
Easter
I don't
egg.
remember. I don't remember those being a thing when I was little. When I was about a teenager, I do remember there being like Reese's eggs, and then you get like a Reese's something in the tree. Fast breaks right now for life, son. Fast break for life, son. Fast breaks are really good. I like those nowadays. That's probably my go-to. I blame my son for getting me into them because fast breaks were his go-to. So I'd always, you know, get him one. And one day I was like, I got to see what the hype's about. And I tried one. I was like, oh, I see what the fucking hype is about. And that's my kryptonite now. Bear down, yeah. Bear down, baby. I hope, like I said, I hope we get a dub tonight. I need to stay in first place. I need all the wins I can get. This was supposed to be my down week. I am 13 points away from winning.
Best of luck to you.
Just send out the great energy for the Bears, and that will translate well to me. So give them all the well wishes. We need it. We need all we can get. Who won last year, Aaron? I'll have to check the trophy once I get it. Tyler won last year. The tribal chief, he won it last year. I'll give him that. But here in about an hour, I will be at his house telling him to shine my trophy up for this year.
Well, I'll be rooting for you.
You see, we really get into it down here, folks. We really get into it. We take fantasy just very, very, very serious. Now, I just guess, man. I don't really pay much attention to anything. I just kind of guess. And we all kind of went down the middle this year. So it's really anybody's ball game. And I'm glad that it's shaping up to be mine. About to spookily sneak up first. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. But yeah, no, it's been a good spooky season. We've had a lot of good spooky specials out. I've got to watch a lot of cool little specials here and there on TVs that I've enjoyed. I know there's still specials dropping.
Right, like you know, I know a couple of dudes that are getting ready to drop a special here soon.
Yeah.
But we don't have an overlay for that, so
we don't quite have an overlay.
We don't have that up here yet. but it's happening. It's coming out. Hell of a Halloween. I had a picture somewhere. I had a screenshot somewhere, and that shit's gone. But hell of a Halloween. It's coming this Friday. The new Chase and Shep Halloween special.
Yeah,
We had to
the
get
new
in on
chapter.
the fun.
It is. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun special. I've always wanted to do a Halloween special, so it's nice to get to
It's
do one.
weird that it is our first Halloween special, just because we've done like a bunch of other horror stuff. So it feels like tread territory, but at the same time, it is something new. We haven't done Halloween yet. Um, I think I've already said this on the show maybe last week, but filming that short has really thrown me off this month.
Yeah.
Because like I've straight thought that Halloween has been over since then. Uh, Still, like every time I walk into a store and I see that shit, I'm just like, oh, this is still up. Like that's cool, I guess. You know?
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with that. We're already talking about Thanksgiving and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that helps with it. Like, oh, that's right. Yeah, Halloween hasn't happened yet. And
Right.
weirdly enough, I've noticed that you know, a lot of places are doing it early too. Like, you know, here in my town, they did a Halloween party this last week, and it's like, oh, damn,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even Halloween weekend, but okay, that's cool. Um, so it's like, I think that's helping move it along. I've been watching some, like I said, Halloween specials when I can here and there. A lot of Bob's Burgers Halloween. I love their Halloween shit. They always got very good Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but I watched that Poloni show.
The Poloni show. I haven't watched that yet. That's on my list.
It was pretty good, man. It was pretty funny. I liked it. They had a lot of good references to a lot of horror stuff, so I just was always giggling at this and that, or being like, "Wait a second, is that the Necronomicon?" Like, what? Wait, what? And there's a really good spot where like some I forget what, but some crazy shit's happening. This guy like crawling over towards a doll, and he's like, "Ah, you Abda, give me the power!" And they're like, "Oh no, he's doing a Chuck. He's doing a Child's Play." So it's like they got a lot of that good stuff in it, and
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of set up kind of how we did our like 420 thing, but they let I believe other animators and stuff do the shorts in between. So some of them
Mhm.
are pretty cool, man. I really liked it. I was like, oh, okay,
Oh
this is
yeah.
pretty fun. It's a pretty fun Halloween special. If you're looking more towards funny as opposed to spooky, but still in
Yeah.
theme.
There's still a lot of spooky stuff I need to get to um, before the month is out. I'm feeling it's funny because usually we do our October marathons or whatever, and we're a little stale on horror for a little bit after. Sometimes it's like I need a little time out, but not this year. I've been going since August,
Yeah.
just on a horror kick, and I'm still feeling it. I think it's going to bleed over into November. Halloween ends when we say it ends.
I've weirdly wanted to watch holiday, like more like Christmas holiday
That's
horror. Yeah,
I,
like
I
that's
I
what I've
am
been
I
sitting
am
around
about
like.
ready to switch over because I have been seeing a lot of good ones pop up. It feels like a sign to do something for 25 Slays this year, even if we catch a couple of these movies. There seems to be a lot of good offerings since we did 25 Slays for the first time a couple years ago. So I'm ready for the holiday horror.
Yeah, no, I've been like I said, I've been kind of sitting here like, all right, I'll be having a week off here soon. Right after Halloween, I think I'm just gonna blast right into it on November 1st. Like, let's just throw down our Santa Claus with Bill Goldberg or some shit, you know,
Yeah, right.
fuck around. Like Jack Frost keeps popping up for me, and I'm like, oh, this movie. I remember this one.
Um,
I watched the comedy of horrors. Not
oh
funny.
yeah, you said that was pretty bad. I watched a new one the other day. It was called Fall. It was more of like a suspense sort of thing where these chicks are mountain climbers and like one of them their husband dies or something, and So of course, some time passes and the friend is like, "No, you got to get back out there. Like, let's go climb this 2,000 foot tall abandoned radio tower. What could go wrong, right?" And so they do just that, and the fucking ladder falls off of it, and they're stuck up there. And it was decent. It was pretty decent, little, little predictable. I feel like there was like a twist thing near the end where I'm just like, I told Belle when it was over because she kept walking in and out of the room. She's like, "This is too much for me," but she's like, "So what happened?" And I was just like, "I don't know, this twist." I was like, "I've seen it done better in other movies." I feel like that happens sometimes, like you see something and other people are like, "Oh, that was a really good twist." And it's like, man, it was the first time I saw it in something else. It's like I saw something similar in a shark movie, and it was just like it was done really well in that shark movie. But this time around, I was like, "Well, duh." But it
No,
was a good
yeah.
one. I rented some other horror movies the other day that I didn't get the chance to get around to watching. But I was this close to watching Jeepers Creepers Reborn, which I hear is just dog shit. But I can't. I'm not here to confirm that for you because I don't know. And then I almost watched Bodies, Bodies, Bodies as well. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
and had to take it back. Those darn due dates,
yeah.
Fucking
They still exist, people.
watch Bullet Train though. Not a horror, but it's pretty rad. It was bloody as fuck, so you might as well watch it in October. It
A
is
lot of
fucking gruesome.
people hype on the bullet train. A lot of people hype
It
on the
was,
bullet
it
train.
was alright. It was alright.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. You can't hate on that. Like I said, some movies are good. Some movies
Not so
just
good.
ain't it. Obviously, Halloween Ends has came out.
OG Jeeper Creepers was the stuff that made up my nightmares as a kid. You know, I remember that I had another cousin who hyped up Jeepers Creepers around the time it came out, and he's like, don't watch it till you're older though." And then I did, and it was just okay. It
I
was
think
not one that
I
landed for
watched the
me.
second one first.
I
And
enjoy the second one
the
a
second
lot
one was
more.
decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't, but I can vibe with that. Like I was definitely afraid of Chucky as a kid, so trust me, I would never hate on what made nightmares for anybody else.
Yeah.
Uh,
Last year was the first time I had watched all those Child's Play movies for the first time, and I love it. So I think that might be one of my favorite slasher franchises. It's just so fun.
yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, it's just the one that kept going. I feel like had Nightmare on Elm Street kept doing it,
Mhm.
or I think that's the only one I feel like really could have contended. Not hating on Jason, but he didn't talk.
Right.
He
Yeah.
didn't have no
Yeah.
quips. He just
He just kept stabbing.
yeah.
you know.
But
Um.
that's one that I always wanted to see keep going, and it never did. Was
mhm.
Nightmare on Elm Street for sure, for sure.
There were so many OGs that got new movies this year. Michael Myers, Ghostface, The Creeper, The Predator got a new one.
It's true.
Leatherface got a new one at the beginning of the year. I
It's
almost
true.
forgot about
Yeah,
that.
and the little Netflix
Uh,
thing.
Hellraiser, new Hellraiser, and then we're getting new Chucky right now too. So it's like a lot of the OGs are still out there slaying, man.
They are. It has been a good year for the icons, I guess you could say.
Hmm.
Like I said, I showed you earlier. I just bought a little leprechaun guy today. I saw him in the store, and I was like, gotta have him. I feel like those are the only ones I'm gonna keep collecting is the horror side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
might as well.
well, I figured this time would come on the show. Should we get into it about Halloween Ends?
I mean, I don't think I don't think we need to get spoilers on it
No, we
or
don't need
nothing like that.
we don't need a spoiler or nothing. But I definitely am in the minority camp on Halloween Ends. I had a bait and switch the other day during a conversation. I fucking Belle's friend was over, and I asked her. I was like, "Have you seen Halloween Ends yet?" And she's like, "Yeah, have you?" And the way she said it back was like very excited. I'm like, "Finally, somebody else who enjoyed the movie." And she's like, "What did you think of it?" I'm like, "I loved it." She's like, "I hated it." I was like, "Damn it." I just, it's definitely one that I feel like the people who love it are Well, I mean, according to the internet, it's about 50-50. I mean,
I
if you
just
look
think
at the
that,
scores and stuff.
like I said, I just think that they just didn't. They didn't know what they were. They knew what they were doing, but I don't think they knew what they were doing.
I'll say I totally get it where people were disappointed. Like I totally get it. But like I don't know, man. There's just something about this whole trilogy that it's always felt like it was about more than Michael Myers. Like this trilogy specifically for me, as I've watched them, like they've never, and I feel like had it all been done differently, like people would have enjoyed it all more. But like you start on the foot of like that's what people expect with Halloween, right? Like Halloween 2018 is your classic Halloween shit, and that's why so many people dug it. But then it's like the dude decided to start, you know, doing different stuff and not really focusing as much on Michael Myers with like the next two movies. And it definitely felt like a reverse. I personally really dug the way like they did things, but I also it was a little ass backwards. I was just like, this
I just
people are
think
not
that
going to be
like
happy about this.
I think that they could have gotten to the same end,
Hmm.
gave you the same feeling with a much better trilogy of movies. Like I think it's one of those that like when you watch it, it's just there in your face. Like it's like you could have done a handful of things a little bit differently, and all of this would have been so much better
Yeah.
than what ended up coming out. And like I've told you, it's fun. It's a fun October flick to throw on and watch, and not give a fuck about. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's fun, like in the sense of like a lot of the Halloween movies are the same, but it has a different vibe. So if you wanted to watch a Halloween movie that was a little different from your other Halloween movies, like you can throw that one on one year instead of watching, the '78 one for the like 5,000th time, or whatever. It gives you a little variety.
Yeah. No, like I said, it's not bad. It's just
It's
I was
it's
just
a
like,
it's a
well,
bad finale to the trilogy, no doubt about it. I mean,
yeah,
it's a good movie, just not a good finale at all to this trilogy. It's definitely the one point a lot of people bring up that I'm like, I can't even argue with that is the fact that at the end when they're talking about him just being pure evil, and then like it goes into the next one and it's like, yeah, he's just a dude. Like pure evil, I feel like it had a bigger presence in the movie or whatever outside of Michael Myers, but the way they set it up at the end of the second one, that was my biggest complaint. I was like, you did kind of make the guy seem like he's on a whole nother level of darkness, but this is what it is. And honestly, weirdly enough, it was this rough landing of this trilogy that suddenly made me okay if there was another Halloween movie. I was like, I don't want to fucking say. As soon as 2018 came out and they announced it was going to be a trilogy, I'm like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? Like, why are they doing this? And now that this trilogy is over, and I know that that's a self-contained timeline of like that first one and these three, and that's not going to continue. There's going to be a whole other story. Fuck it, go for it. Go for it. I'd watch another Halloween movie, and it's like this just wasn't. I don't know. I'd be curious to see what somebody else would come up with, I guess.
me too, me too. I really would. Like I said, it is what it is, but it's good for what it is. It's got the season of the witch syndrome. If you slapped a
Mm.
different name on it, it'd be an alright movie. It'd
Yep.
be pretty cool.
Yep.
Pretty good.
I gotta say though, credit where credit's due. That opening scene had my fucking jaw on the floor of Halloween Ends. I was like,
Yeah,
oh shit! I was like, so that's how we're getting this party started. It's like, okay, yeah,
I agree.
it's a hell
I
of a way to
agree.
start a movie. That's for sure.
It's real from the jump, and then gets real weird, but it's a ride.
Yeah,
You gotta
it is
ride
a
it.
ride. Yeah,
You gotta
exactly.
ride
That's
it.
the best way to describe it. Just get in and ride.
Yeah, I was laughing. I was crying.
I
You
laughed. I
know,
cried.
I died inside.
I.
You know,
That's what I was gonna say.
laughed. I cried. I died inside. But no, it's good. It's good. Check it out. Don't check it out. I don't care. I don't care what you do, man. I'm not here dictating your life, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't
I'm
watch
just here.
any horror movies if you don't want to.
You can watch Halloween Town on repeat, like Priyanka, all year if you want.
That's right.
And we're cool with that.
We're totally cool with that.
I feel like I'd go crazy after 4 days of it.
Probably. I don't know. As a kid, I might as well have had it on loop. Yeah. I mean, granted, as a kid, we didn't have DVR and stuff. This was a time of like when it was on TV. That's when we were watching it, sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. As I say, the good old days, man. You know, every now and then you could luck out and they'd put out a little VHS tape of it when it was done, and you'd be like,
yes.
I get little episodes of X-Men that would be like, 2 or 3 episodes of X-Men on it.
Oh yeah, I had.
Hell yeah,
I'm familiar. Those I had a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle VHS tapes.
Yes, I still got some VHS tapes.
Can't hit on the old orange tapes from Nickelodeon.
Yeah, all the Disneys came in those weird fluffy
plastic ones. Yeah. Right. Somewhere out there's a vault with all that shit in it.
Hopefully.
The Disney vault. That's what they say. It's
that'd be
filled with those big ass VHS cases.
That'd be wild.
It would be wild.
You go in there and see them all. You'd be like, damn. There's a lot.
There are a lot. Yeah. That's one of those things. I feel like, one of those, like, you're looking over here, well, something's happening over here, where it's like, everybody collected like Furbies and shit like that, thinking like, oh, this is going to be the big bucks and stuff. Meanwhile, we had like all these fucking, Disney movies on VHS and stuff. And if you look today, that shit is worth some fucking money.
It is.
Whoever kept them, good on them. We definitely, with all those fucking things in the back, you would have thought we would have held on to them, but
nope. They were heavy. There was a lot to hold on to. VHS made its way out 25 years ago.
Right. And that's why we make low budget films.
Yeah. But you're right, man. I always laugh at the Beanie Baby craze because the Beanie Babies were something that people went absolutely insane for. And then I'll never forget the image of the guy and his wife in court separating their Beanie Babies out like in a divorce.
Jesus Christ.
I hope they never live that down. I hope the people that know them always remind them of that.
Hey, remember that one time you separated the Beanie Babies? Where are those Beanie Babies?
Oh, now? I would be that guy because I'd be like, hey, how much are those Beanie Babies? How much you get out of those? Nothing.
Nothing. Ooh.
Ooh. Damn. You should have struck while you was hot, man. You should have sold them all to her back then.
Yeah, right. But what are you
Struck a deal. I'll hit the plea bargain. I'll plead with you, girl. $200. They're all yours.
I lost my train of thought. I don't even remember. Oh, I was thinking about next Monday. Next Monday is Halloween.
It is.
And I was thinking about what we can do on the show for Halloween. And I was thinking maybe we could try something a little different. Maybe find like a public domain horror movie or something to watch with the people or something.
We'll have to see what Halloween brings because if we go out at a normal time, that'll be right in the midst of trick-or-treating.
Will it?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be at the end of trick-or-treating?
Where I'm at, we trick-or-treat from 5 p.m. till 7 p.m.
Oh.
So you'd be right.
It's 4 to 6. A lot of other places.
I think it's 5 to 7 here. I'd like to.
Well, I guess we'll find out next week. Tune in next week to find out what we do for Halloween.
No, I'm down with that. And it's also my sister Jessica. It's her birthday. Happy early birthday, sis.
Happy spooky birthday.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I've always been jealous of her birthday. But so yeah, I'm down to do that. It might just be a little. It might be a little late night, little end of Halloween thing. Let's all gather up and watch. I'm down to do that. especially if we watch a public domain, because that means we're probably watching something old.
Yeah. Get down on some classics.
I'm down with
shit.
that.
There's
man.
some fun shit in the public domain.
I think no, it's in the Universal ones are obviously owned by Universal, so
right. Yeah.
Like Frankenstein's old as shit, but I was like, oh wait, yeah, that's right,
Yep.
Universal.
Right. But there is one movie in particular that might be a good one, but we'll talk about it.
I mean, we can watch how many versions of it?
Exactly. All night long. We'll pick a movie and we'll watch every fucking version we can find of it. Get your favorite candies and trade the rest.
That's right. No, I'm down with that. I think that would be a nice way to send it off. And hopefully I'll be on vacation, so I won't have to work the next day or nothing, so we can hopefully
beautiful
just vibe out.
Hell yeah.
Get very spooky.
I suppose before we go, your monster out moment.
My monster out moment this week goes out to the monsters of the Midwest, aka the Chicago Bears. Let's monster out tonight, baby.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna monster out on that couch back there, I think, and catch a few more spooky flicks while the month is good. It's a beautiful fall night for such a thing.
So. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna be doing the same most of this week. A few movies that I've saved. We're gonna catch Black Adam tomorrow.
That's right. Yeah. I'm meeting Kevin Smith this week.
You are. Props to The Rock. Props to Kevin Smith. Thank you for sponsoring Chase and Shep, guys. We appreciate you. We really appreciate you guys. Drink Zao Energy.
I just need to get Kevin Smith to say on camera that he's going to pass the torch from Jay and Silent Bob over to Chase and Shep.
All we need to start doing is when you meet a celebrity, just pull your phone out and just be like, "Hey, just say I'm Kevin Smith. You're watching Chase and Shep." And then we can just have cool fucking intros of celebrities. Be like, "You're watching Chase and Shep."
People will be like, "How much did you pay for all these intros?"
Hey, I was about to say, if we really have to, we can go to Cameo. We can pay him and be like, just say, "Hey, what's up? I'm who you are, and you're watching Chase and Shep." And guess what? Those motherfuckers have to say it. They have to. Did you pay them? And then we'll throw Raven at the end saying "Squish match," because that's always great.
Always a good time. All right, let's close this sucker out.
Yep, we got some footballs and spooky movies and all that great shit to get to, ladies and gentlemen.
What should we play them out with?
And deuces. I don't care, bud. Whatever you want.
Fuck it. I don't think we've done this one. We'll go this one. Peace, everybody.
Stay spooky.
They know we're still in here. They're after the place. They don't know why. They just remember that they want to be in here.
What the hell are they?
They're us, that's all.